Hi, I'm Professor Martin, and today we are going to talk about support services, the way your college can support you through your educational journey. In my experience, there are 5 big support services that almost every college is going to offer, and they're the ones we're going to learn about today. We're going to talk about disability support, tutoring, advising, careers, and health, both physical and mental. Okay, number 1, disability support services. By law, every single educational institution is going to have some sort of department that assists students overcoming or working with or working through any kind of disability or anything that students have that maybe make their learning experience a little bit different from the way maybe a majority of their classmates might learn. A disability can be a range of things, and your school support service center is going to be there to help you to answer all of your questions to help make you comfortable in the classroom. I know it can be very scary to try to overcome and try to work through some of these things by yourself. And your support service organizers and leaders in that department are really good at what they do. They know about a lot of disabilities. A lot of them, maybe they've had these disabilities or they have these disabilities, or they've struggled with the same things when they were students, and it's now their passion, and they want to help other students overcome the challenge of whatever particular thing that the student needs help with. I know sometimes the name might make some students a little bit nervous, and maybe you don't want to talk about the things that are maybe very personal and very private, and that's completely understandable. But the school is there to help you be successful and to help give you confidence no matter what your skill level is or your abilities or the way your brain works, right? Every single brain works a little bit differently. And I'm sure that there is someone at your school that can relate, that understands, that can help you. So Disability Support Services is there to support you, to help you. They can create education plans for you. They can draft letters for your professors that will ask your professors to do things like give you extra testing time, give you extra time to do your homework, allow for a quieter work environment as far as homework and in-class lessons, maybe to sit you in a particular seat. There are a lot of different options, and it's really individualized to your needs. So there's a lot of law, and you know that I love to talk about the law, but we're going to keep this very general for today's lesson. So we're not going to get into the laws behind disability support and what a school at any level is required to provide you with as far as assistance. But just know, if you have any kind of physical injury, we have to provide reasonable accommodations. Okay, if you have limited hearing, limited vision, right, your school is supposed to help you with all of those. Okay, if you need a translator, if you need an interpreter, whatever you need, it doesn't hurt to ask. Okay, so some things your college is going to be required to provide you with assistance for, and other things they just have to be reasonable in allowing you to make modifications as you need. Okay, so if you face any kind of struggle, and it does not matter if you've never been on an educational plan before and all of a sudden you're middle-aged and you find yourself in college and you now have a struggle that you're trying to deal with, it doesn't matter what you've been on the past, okay? And it doesn't matter if you've had a ton of educational assistance for any particular thing in the past. It needs to be, right, like your education plan is going to be current as far as your situation right now. Okay, so, and this may vary from college to college as far as the assessment process, but your needs will be evaluated, and your college will probably ask for some sort of support letter or some kind of documentation from a medical provider And your doctor's in the best position to help relate to the school exactly what your medical condition is, what the school can do to assist you. So just be sure that you're being open and honest with your medical provider, okay? And be open and honest with your college's disability support service team. And if you're comfortable enough, talk to your professor, ideally at the start of the semester, and just let them know if there's anything you're struggling with. I tend to have at least a couple students each semester that they don't want to get disability support through disability services, but they are confident and comfortable enough to come to me and to just share what their struggle is. And I'm limited, and your professors are going to be limited on what kind of modifications we can make to help you. And this is why it's important to go to disability support, because once the school gives the okay, it is okay for the professor to rearrange your homework schedule and to give you extra time, right? We have to otherwise treat every student equally and fairly. Okay, so in trying to be equal, we can't make changes for every student unless we are given permission to do so by disability support services. But if it's something where maybe you're really shy, or maybe you have anxiety and talking or answering questions, or if you're put on the spot, and even if your teacher does it nicely and they ask you to answer a question, if that just terrifies you and makes you tremble and you start sweating and words don't come out of your mouth, things like that, it might be helpful to both of you if you just explain that to the teacher. And I'm sure there's something that they can do, and I'm sure they would be more than happy to try to help you come up with some solutions on a way that you can work together to help you overcome that. Okay, so those are things that you and the professor can do individually, and then if you need disability support services, they're there for you. Okay, it is totally your choice. Okay, number 2 is going to be tutoring. I think it is fantastic now that most colleges are offering tutoring services, and there's no charge to the students that need the tutoring. Most of the time, the college is paying tutors. So the college is spending the money to invest in you to help you succeed. So believe it or not, especially if you are not a straight A student, you may not believe that colleges are really like it's their goal. They go out of their way to help you succeed. It's mutually beneficial to everyone when you succeed. The school looks good because they have a lot of bright students that are getting good grades. You benefit, right? You're a more productive member of society. You're going to get a better job. A high GPA opens you up to a lot of scholarships, a lot of other opportunities, internships, things like that. Your professor, right, is going to benefit as well. Everyone wins when you're successful. So colleges invest a lot of time and energy and resource into finding good tutors, training tutors, paying tutors. If your college offers tutoring service, take advantage of it. There is no reason at all that you should have anything less than an A in every single class if you are provided with free tutoring. Even if the tutoring is not free, your school might have a program where the school pays a portion and you might pay a portion as well. So maybe you're both contributing. But most of the schools that I have looked into recently offer free tutoring, or tutoring that is at no charge to the students, right? The college is going to pay for the tutoring. Take advantage of it. Okay, your professor is not there to be your private tutor. It is your responsibility. The professor is going to give a lecture on the subject, or if it's a big meaty subject, it might take a couple class sessions to get through. But once you're done, your professor is going to move on, and they are not there to be your your personal tutor. Okay, so if you missed class, if you were late and you missed something important, if you didn't take good notes and all of a sudden you get home and it's midterm time and you cannot remember what you talked about, or if the topic is a little bit muddled in a couple of different learning objectives, it is your responsibility to figure all that out. Okay, so if you have the opportunity to take advantage of tutoring, do it. Do it. The tutors are nice. They want to help their tutors because they're passionate about the subject that they're tutoring in, and they want you to be successful. Okay, so we've talked about disability support services and now tutoring. Next is advising. Every single college is going to have some sort of advising department or someone that is going to act as an advisor. Your advisor is going to help make sure that you're taking the right courses at the right time. What you don't want to do is get really zealous and start enrolling in the classes that you think are going to be the most fun, and then find out later down the line that those courses aren't going to actually be beneficial in your degree. Or you don't want to enroll in the class and get several weeks in and then realize that you didn't meet the prerequisite and now have to drop the class and probably not get most of your money back. And you might even end up with a big fat W on your transcript, which means that you withdrew without a refund. And that you've already sat through the class for a portion of time and weren't successfully able to complete the course. So we don't want that. So your advisor is there to help keep you on track. If you have any questions as far as when to take classes, what classes you can take, what classes will potentially transfer, what will go into your degree, what are the courses that would help you to meet a long-term goal, right? If you want to eventually go to medical school, do you have an advisor that can help you with pre-med stuff to ensure that you're taking not just the courses required for your degree, but if you have an option of a variety of courses, which of those courses are going to help to get you ultimately to where you want to go? Okay, when I was working on my undergrad, we did have a legal advisor. It was an acting attorney that had an active law firm, and he partnered with the school for any undergrad students that were interested in going to law school when they graduated. We had an advisor that specifically worked in the legal field that we could call or communicate with if we had any questions about what are the best classes to take, should we internship, what's the best way to get an internship. Any question we had about getting from where we are right now to our end goal, that's what the advisor was there for. Okay, so your school will have an advisor. Typically, it's going to be someone that works in your degree program or in your category. So it might be your life sciences, it might be your humanities, whatever it is, you're going to have an advisor. So they will be with you for your whole college journey. So be nice to them, get to know them. You will need them. They will help you out a lot, but that is going to be your advisor. Number 4 is going to be career services. This is a big one because most of us go to college to get a career or to get a better career or for career advancement. Unless you're me and you're just weird and you love to learn and you get degrees and you get certificates and you undergo years and years of education for no purpose other than you're really interested in the subject and you're you're just only happy when you're learning. Most of us do it for a career. Most everyone else does it for a career. With that, your college is there because, again, it's mutually beneficial. It is beneficial to everyone if you graduate and end up in a really good career. They will do things like help you with your resume. If you don't have a resume, they'll help you write one. If you have a resume but it needs a bit of work, they'll help you with that as well. If you have an interview coming up or if interviews make you really nervous, they can do mock interviews with you. They also often have a job board. There is a big, gigantic benefit if you're looking for a job or if you're looking for a new job of working with an employer that is advertising with your college's job board or job bank. And that is, these employers specifically want students. They want people that are investing in themselves, in their education, in their knowledge, in their wisdom, in themselves in general. Students are often easy to train because you know they're willing to put in the work, right? You know that whenever they get their degree, they're able to become lower level managers, right? And obviously, depending on what degree it is, right? We learn that your bachelor's degree is generally your entry level management degree. So employers want to get students that are going to graduate that they can then make managers, right? Everyone wins. But the greatest benefit, I think personally, is that employers that specifically seek out college students are going to be the employers that are willing to work around a college student's very strenuous schedule, right? They understand that you have midterms. They understand that you have final exams. They understand that you have a very small break in between each semester. And they're willing to work with you. They know that if you need a week off before your midterms, right, that's to be expected. If you need the same thing for finals, that's to be expected. They know that your schedule is going to change every single semester. So if you have an employer right now and your employer doesn't want to or isn't able to work around your consistently changing college schedule, it might be worth it to check your college career center's job bank. Okay, these are businesses that want students. Okay, so if you feel unsupported at your current job, it's just something to keep in mind, and it might be worth looking into even if it's for the future. Okay, the very last one is going to be our health and wellness. Your college is likely going to have something to help you with both your physical and your mental health. Most college campuses have gyms. It might be free or it might be something you personally don't have to pay extra for. There might be a small membership fee, maybe per semester or per academic year. You might only get to access it if you're taking PE credits, physical education credits. Every college is going to be a little different, but most colleges do have some sort of a gym. Some have golf courses and indoor heated pools, yoga studios. There are all kinds of different ways. Again, because when you are physically and mentally fit, the school benefits. You're going to be a more successful student. You're going to be more focused on your homework. You're going to get your work done on time. You're going to ace your midterm and your final exams. The school's going to look great. You're going to look great. Again, everyone wins. In addition to some sort of physical health facility, most colleges now recognize the fact that it is very mentally straining to be a student and that students are a very special class of individuals with mentally challenging things that come our way all the time, right? Again, it is very hard to be a student. It is exhausting, especially if you are an overachiever or if you have that inner desire to be your best at everything. It is hard to get an A in every class, every semester, every time for years on end. With that, most schools do have mental health professionals, and a lot of times you can make appointments and you can talk with them for free, which is amazing because if you're a student, you may not have health insurance, and paying for your own therapy or counseling or someone to even just sit and talk with you about what you're going through, it gets expensive. So most counselors are going to have at least a master's degree, and master's degrees are not cheap. And all of the education they had to get, even to get to the master's degree, is not cheap. They need to try to earn back some of that money they paid for their education. Most of the counselors are going to have big education debts, and they need you to help them pay off that debt. But if you're lucky enough to attend a school that provides sessions with a licensed counselor or some sort of mental health professional and you don't have to pay for it, take advantage of it if you need it. If you need it, it's there. They're there to help. They want you to help. Everyone wins. Take advantage of it if you need it. Okay, college campuses are filled with thousands of students that all often go through the same thing. So you're never alone. Your professor loves and cares about you, even if they don't always tell you that. Right? Like, I love my students. I love each and every one of you. I love you, I care about you, I want you to be safe, I want you to be healthy, I want you to be happy, I want you to be prosperous, and your college does too. Okay, so if you are interested, just know it's available, okay? And oftentimes you don't even have to pay for it, okay? It's confidential, nothing is going to go on your record. So maybe even just look into it in case, if you don't need it now, if you need it in the future, you'll already know where to go. Your college campus is probably also going to do some mental health things that may not seem very mental health related, things like game nights and movie nights and social outings. All of these things really help with our mental agility to recover from stressful school sessions and time periods. So if they offer a yoga in the quad or yoga in the park, and you're open and that sounds fun to you, do it, right? It's all about the mental health and the physical health there. But if you're open to being social and you want to go to the social outings, that's often an option at most colleges as well. The game nights, the movie nights, popcorn, all of that is fun. So if that sort of stuff interests you, it's likely an option at your college. Okay, not every college campus advertises these things very well, and sometimes it is hard to get the word out to all the students. But just know, your college is likely going to have disability support services, some sort of tutoring. It is often going to be free. You are absolutely going to have an advisor. You're going to be provided with some kind of career assistance, and there's going to be at least something to help you with your physical and mental health. That is it for our lesson on support services. I hope you have a really great day in class.